But there is a serious discussion, David, in an environment where we know the pie is shrinking, the economy is slowing down, we know that there are structural problems with the budget. What we have has to stretch a lot further and there are greater demands on it. And that also includes Indigenous people. And you need to look at some hard questions here. What is the end game? Is the end game closing the gap? Is it about improving the lifestyle choices, the opportunities for Indigenous people? Is it about cultural and spiritual attachment to land? Can you have both of those things? I mean, if I remember from my time...
the answer would be yes, you want all of those things. But
can you have both?
This is where it gets difficult.
And you know, David, if you look at the way the world has turned, we have become a more urbanised world. We live longer because of it. We have greater access to jobs and education, health and so on because of it. China lifted 250 million people out of poverty because its economy improved and people left smaller remote areas to move to the cities. These are hard questions and we need to have that debate in Indigenous communities and in the broader Australian population. In my own case, I grew up in an Aboriginal community, a mission. I was born in one in rural New South Wales. My father was a sawmiller. We moved around wherever my dad could get work because he had to work to put food on the table. I was fortunate enough to be good enough at school, to go away and have an education, to go to university, to have a career that's taken me around the world. And my cultural connection, my spiritual connection, my family connection to that land is as strong today as it was growing up. And I'm no different to other people in that. We can have that, but it requires hard choices among families and individuals, and it requires a really hard discussion in the Indigenous community as well, who sometimes fall prey to this idea that we need to keep people in remote communities because that's where the real blackfellas are, and that makes me feel better about my identity. Yeah. That's fine if you're living in a city like I am with the opportunities that I've had. It's not too fine for the kid who's growing up there to make me feel stronger about who I am and my identity. These are really hard questions. We get what we had just last month with yet another Closing the Gap report, which shows that things are progressively getting worse in many key areas. That's the discussion.